Hey everyone, it's Jeannie here, and today I am so glad to be joined by one of my very favorite sitcom actresses, Patricia Heaton. You know her from Everybody Loves Raymond or The Middle, just incredible catalog of work. And she's also a woman of faith. I'm excited about all that she's doing. She's teaming up with World Vision again for just amazing things. Patricia, thank you so much for taking time to talk with me.
Thanks, Jeannie. Thanks for having me.
You're beautiful. You're glowing over there.
Yeah, well, I have somebody that, spackles me into shape.
Well, you are beautiful. And I'm just so grateful to be able to share just all that you're doing in this season. I know that you're a Christian and faith informs your life. You're very outspoken about that. Why is it that you're just unapologetically open about it? I know so many people in Hollywood kind of, they keep that private.
I don't know where I heard this saying, but somebody said, there's a saying, Jesus died for us publicly, so don't live for him privately.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful.
It's kind of, and, it's our job here as Christians to certainly extend the love of Christ, the love that he extended to us, to extend it to others through our actions. But I also think you have to talk about why you can love in difficult circumstances. Now, it's because he first loved us. While we're still in our sin, he died for us. And I've been just meditating on that a lot more as I have some downtime. Kids are out of the house. I'm not working on a show right now, so it's more time to think about my mortality and just the meaning of life. There's a season of real busyness when you're raising children and having a family and working, and so often we don't make enough space to allow God to really talk to us. So I have more space now, and I'm hearing loud and clear.
Wow. Well, I just became a mother 7 weeks ago, so I'm going to take
the irony
of what you just said.
That's when you really need God.
Yeah.
It's hard. So congratulations. Is that your first one?
Yes, my first year. I have 3 in heaven. But God graced me with my little miracle here. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love that you work with World Vision. World Vision is just doing incredible things around the world. And through this time of just a pandemic, a global pandemic and everything, your work with them hasn't stopped. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sadly, I haven't been able to travel with World Vision because it's my favorite thing to do. I just love an adventure. I've always loved travel. I love how, you don't know what you're going to find or who you're going to meet. And I think that's why I also love the entertainment industry, is because it's just always something new and sometimes challenging, and that's great. And that's how we grow. But it's wonderful to travel around the world and see all the great work that's being done. And there's a lot to be hopeful about. And I think right now in our country, if you live much time on social media, you could become very despondent and maybe a little depressed about, the state of mankind. But if you get out into the world, you see there's millions of people doing wonderful things, and their lives are changing for the better. We're trying to combat all the difficulties in the world, poverty and lack of clean water and early child marriage, and and we are successfully combating a lot of those things. And World Vision is a big part of all of that. And I just really did my research with World Vision, and they are such a transparent organization that where 86 cents of every dollar goes directly to programs, so that when you're giving money, it's really being used for programs that are lifting people out of poverty, not necessarily some big salaries. People who work for World Vision are doing living very sacrificial lives. So and the thing is, the programs are sustainable. That's really important. It's not like you send a bunch of soccer balls to a country.
Right.
you're building wells that are lasting. The World Vision wells, and World Vision is the largest provider of clean water in the world. Those wells last years and years and years beyond other wells, because they train people in communities to be able to maintain the wells. They train people to be well engineers, well doctors. And so those wells last for a long time. Their schools last for a long time. There's savings clubs where women come in, put their money together, and start making microloans to each other. That transforms communities. Girls are being able to go to school because World Vision builds toilets so at the school, so when they have their period, they have a private place to go. So there's just they're doing these really wonderful, sustainable, systemic fixes for these communities where the community is very involved in it. So after 12 to 15 years, when World Vision leaves, these communities are thriving because they are doing the work themselves.
That's incredible. I've actually interviewed quite a couple of people that they work with World Vision. Never heard some of the things you just said, so I'm really excited about that. And just for people to know how the sustainability part, that's really important.
Really important.
Yeah. I know that you've also been open about your battle with an addiction that you had, and it really hits close to home for me because I'm a child of that, grew up in that, and just the effect that is. And now going into the holidays, I have another family member that's battling this awful addiction, and just it really affects everything. Yeah. So can you kind of share about that?
Yeah, well, I'm just Irish Catholic from Ohio. As in a lot of Midwest cities, it's a sort of a drinking culture. And especially when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s. I realized when the kids were out of the house and I didn't have a job, that the things that gave me purpose and identity were not there anymore. And so you're feeling a little bit unmoored. And you can either lean into that and think, okay, what's my next adventure? What do I do with this free time? How do I reinvent myself, maybe? Or you can just crack open a bottle of wine and rewatch, all 100 seasons of The Sopranos, and try not to think about things. So, and I don't have an addict personality for alcohol, but I'm never a person that would sip a cocktail through an evening, like going out to dinner. I was like 2 cocktails before dinner, 2 glasses of wine with dinner, an aperitif after dinner, and I just, really throw them back. Yeah. And that's been going on since college, right? And so, but because of work, I've worked so much, I would never, ever drink during the week because I had to be at work. So that was kind of this wonderful natural barrier that I had, and I'm grateful for that because I never let anything interfere with my work. But once that goes away, and as you get older, your body doesn't process as well anymore. Your metabolism changes, and so you don't process the alcohol as well. So you feel the effects more. So these things were happening, and I just noticed I was starting to drink. And so, and we have some alcohol issues in our family, and so I was just very aware, and I just had to make a decision to how am I going to go into my old age and be as healthy as possible, especially because, grandkids right now are nowhere in sight for me. I'm sure they're at least 10 years away, if at all. And that'll put me in my 70s, so I'm like, wow. I want my brain to be nice and fresh, but I, just love drinking. And I just was like, I don't know, I can't do that. Like, I'd like to stop, but I can't do it myself. And I just had this kind of prayer thought of like, Lord, I want to stop drinking. I should stop drinking. I can't. I will never be able to do it. I've tried before, lasted 6 hours, and then pouring a glass of wine. So you're going to have to do it. And I am not woo-woo Christian. I'm raised Catholic, so it's all very kind of muted, right? And so I don't hear God talking to me, and I don't get vibes and stuff. Also because I'm an actor, I think I I don't trust those things because I know how easy it is to manufacture those feelings. Because I'm an actor, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just sent this little prayer thought up. Within like 48 hours, I had an experience where I was at dinner with my sons and their friends. And we had, been drinking some wine while we were cooking, and drinking some wine while we were eating, and drinking some more wine while we were cleaning up, and then drinking some wine while we were playing this board game. So it's over the space of like 5 hours at least.
Yeah.
I felt fine, totally fine, chatting away. And then I tried to make a joke, and I said to the table, and I said, in our family, it's a tradition. And I couldn't say the word tradition. I couldn't pronounce it properly. I can't even mispronounce it to you the way I was doing it. And I tried 2 more times to say tradition, and I couldn't say the word. And my son at the end of the table goes, "Oh, that's really nice, Mom. You can't talk." And I was so horrified that, and to be in front of my son's friends and seemingly having this weird blip. So there was that, but it was also like, I feel perfectly fine. And I have not slurred a word all evening, but this one word. And so something is happening in my brain, the alcohol, even though I don't know about it, I'm not aware of it. It's affecting, like, the synapses are misfiring, and it just showed itself for a second. And I thought, this is what happens. It's always working on your brain when you're drinking it, whether you feel drunk or not. And the next day I met a friend for brunch, and I said, "Well, you're the first person I'm telling, but this is the first day of not drinking."
Wow.
And it's been 3 years now. And
Congratulations.
thank you. It was a real answer to prayer. It's like, God knows what it would take for me to quit, which was like public humiliation.
Wow.
But I stopped, and thank goodness it was before the pandemic, because I certainly would definitely have been, starting drinking early in the afternoon during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, I know you're doing Mocktail Monday series,
Yes.
where you talk about sobriety in the holidays, and what you're saying is so true. There are so many people, due to the pandemic and all of that are just kind of stuck in this, cycle of, oh, I'm sad. There's some are single. They don't have, what others have, so they're just, looking to something, and they turn to alcohol.
Yeah.
What made you want to do the series?
You can't just get rid of something without replacing it. You have to replace it with something. And I know that I realize I'm a pretty social person, but there's this little heightened bit of energy and tension before you go out to meet people, right? And which is why I think we all have a drink, just to kind of push through that. And it's fun to have a drink, and they taste good. They taste great, So I think but you need to substitute. Like, I'm the big, like, bourbon old fashioned drinker. And so now I just do club soda with bitters, like a little maraschino cherry and juice, and a slice of orange. And just the taste of the bitters, like, mentally gets me over the hump of wanting that urge, that impulse to order a drink when everybody else is doing it. And once you do that and you have that taste, it's like your body goes, "Oh, okay." And then you can move on. Now, if you are like a really serious alcoholic, you should be going to meetings and things like that. But for me, that really helps me. Peter Boyle, who played Frank on Everybody Loves Raymond, he had been living sober for many years, and he told me that he was able to, we would go out on tape night to a bar afterwards. And he told me that, I asked him, "How do you not drink when we're all out there drinking together after a show?" And he said, "I just think about taking the first drink, how it leads to the second drink, and how I feel physically and mentally, and then the third drink. And I just walk it through in my mind of where it ends up leading me. And by the time I walk it through, the impulse is gone, and I don't really want to make that choice." So that's been very helpful for me too, to just take a pause and allow your body to adjust to not having it in that moment.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the beautiful scarf that you're wearing.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
I
if
know,
you're looking to buy, like, Christmas gifts, World Vision, if you go to worldvision.org, you can see the catalog online, and you can order the scarf. There I am, right on the back with my scarf. And there's my good buddy and my neighbor in Tennessee, Melissa Joan Hart, and she's got this beautiful bangle bracelet, says faith, hope, and love on it, and it's connected with a little heart charm.
Beautiful.
And if you donate $100 to World Vision, they'll send you either one, whatever you want. But there's also inside many, many, many gifts that you can buy for yourself or for family members. And that money will go to World Vision programs. Or you can actually buy things like animals for a village, you know, a little flock of chickens, right here, and that really does change people's lives. So this catalog, and you can just go online and see everything. You can get all your Christmas shopping done for yourself, for your family, and for anybody in an hour with the World Vision catalog if you go to worldvision.org. And every gift and every donation that you make is going to save somebody's life, literally.
Yeah, that to me is the most incredible part of it. Not only are you shopping and you get some gifts, but you're actually able to make an impact. Is there anything that you're looking forward to this holiday season? Well, we can wrap up here, but following a pandemic and all this stuff, I mean, I don't know if we're still in the pandemic, but you know, yeah, well, I don't think we are. Okay, I don't want to be insensitive. All right.
No, I know, you know, everybody's got their opinion. I mean, I feel like we've kind of pushed through the biggest part of it. I'm, you know, I'm vaccinated and I haven't gotten the booster yet, but we'll see. But it's all good. And I've come to realize over the years, the most important thing is just being together, no matter where you are. If you can be together with some family members, that's what I'm really the most excited about. I mean, it's also great to get to this stage of my life where the boys don't really need gifts. You're just entering this stage. I can tell you, you won't follow this advice, but I'm just going to tell you, you don't need to buy a bunch of crap because it makes Christmas so stressful, and you end up throwing the stuff away the next year anyway. So yeah, so just you know, now I'm at the point where it's a lot less stressful for me at Christmas because I don't have to do all this gift shopping and then wrapping and then returning at the end of it.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And I just hope that you have the best time with your family.
Likewise, and congratulations on the baby, and having a baby at Christmas is so fun and changes the whole holiday, right?
Yeah, I mean, my birthday is tomorrow, then Thanksgiving, thank you, and then Christmas. And honestly, I already have the best gift I could ever have. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Great.
thank you so much. I appreciate
Thanks
you
for having
and
me.
keep being a light in this world. We really appreciate your voice and just sharing the hope of Christ. I admire that so much.
Thanks for having me. Have a great holiday.